Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that most people around you no longer question anything. The world is louder, faster, flooded with endless noise, and the human mind, once sharp, curious, and capable of discovery, has dulled into passive acceptance. Think about that. What happens to a society when thinking itself begins to vanish, when reflection is replaced by reaction, when reason is buried beneath outrage, when truth is reduced to whatever trend goes viral? This is not a conspiracy, it is a reality, and philosophers have a name for it: collective stupidity. A state where people surrender their independence, blindly follow signals, and confuse popularity with truth. By the end of this journey, you'll see how this shift is reshaping your life, and discover how to reclaim your own mind before it's too late. But first, hit subscribe, leave a like, and share your thoughts below, because what follows may challenge you and perhaps even unsettle you. Here's the first hard truth: thinking is difficult, and in today's world, it's often discouraged. Our culture doesn't reward patience. It rewards speed. It rewards outrage. It rewards conformity. And this is not an accident. From algorithms that feed you what you already believe, to schools that value memorization over exploration, you are being trained to accept, not to question. Decades ago, Noam Chomsky warned of this. He called it the manufacturing of consent. When people consume without questioning, agree without understanding, and repeat without reflecting, they become manageable, predictable, easy to deceive. Why is this happening? One reason is information overload. Neuroscientist Daniel Levitin found we now process 5 times more information per day than we did just a few decades ago. Notifications, breaking news, ads, opinions, noise. But the brain wasn't built for this flood, so it cuts corners. It relies on shortcuts and groupthink. It looks for cues, likes, shares, headlines, instead of weighing evidence. That's not reasoning. That's survival instinct, and it's being exploited every single day. Another reason? The collapse of deep reading. Neuroscientist Marianne Wolf warns that our brains are being rewired by digital skimming. We scroll, we skim, we hop from link to link, but real analysis requires focus. And without focus, critical thinking dies. Ask yourself, when was the last time you read an entire article without reaching for your phone? Or paused before reacting online, just to think? These habits, once common, are disappearing. Carl Sagan once warned, "We live in a society dependent on science and technology, yet almost no one understands them." His fear was not ignorance alone. It was the erosion of critical thought in the very systems that shape our lives. Why do we avoid thinking? Because thinking is uncomfortable. It forces us to admit what we don't know. It shatters certainty. It threatens identity. So instead of reflecting, we defend. We retreat to our tribes. We repeat slogans. We silence questions. And over time, silence becomes complicity. Erich Fromm wrote about this in Escape from Freedom. He argued that many people secretly prefer obedience because freedom of thought comes with responsibility. And responsibility is terrifying. Social media has turned this problem into an epidemic. What was once a tool for connection is now a battlefield of outrage. Opinion wars and algorithmic control. Every platform is designed for reaction, not reflection. You're nudged toward content that confirms your bias. You're rewarded for speed and emotion, not truth. The result? Division is amplified, nuance is erased, and thinking feels slow, irrelevant, and even weak. Marshall McLuhan foresaw this decades ago. The medium is the message. The way we receive information shapes how we think. And today's mediums are designed for outrage, speed, and certainty, not depth, not wisdom. But the real battlefield is inside the mind itself. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman showed that the brain runs on two systems, one fast and emotional, the other slow and deliberate. And in today's high-speed world, most people live in fast mode. We jump to conclusions. We follow instincts. We trust feelings over facts. This makes us vulnerable to manipulation. Marketers, politicians, media, they know this. They package complexity into simple binaries. They repeat narratives until they feel familiar. And once a belief feels true, our brains defend it at all costs. This is confirmation bias, and it's one of the deadliest traps of the human mind. Even intelligent people fall into it, because thinking slowly takes courage. It takes humility. And humility is rare in a culture addicted to certainty. History shows us this clearly. Galileo, Darwin, Nietzsche, Martin Luther King. Every one of them was ridiculed or attacked for daring to think differently, and yet their courage reshaped the world. Make no mistake, to think critically today is still an act of rebellion. You risk being misunderstood, ostracized, even hated. But in exchange, you gain clarity, self-respect, and freedom from manipulation. So where do we go from here? We begin with awareness. Awareness of what shapes your opinions. Awareness of when you're reacting instead of thinking. Awareness of your own biases. We must relearn the lost art of questioning. Not, how do I win this argument, but what am I missing? Who benefits if I believe this? Is this true or just popular? Socrates once said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." This was not weakness, it was strength. It was an invitation to remain curious, and that invitation is still open. Here is the deepest truth of all. The real reason critical thinking is dying is not because people are incapable, it's because they are afraid. To think critically is to risk the collapse of your own identity, your tribe, your comfort, because once you see clearly, you can't unsee. You begin to notice the systems of manipulation, the propaganda disguised as news, the indoctrination disguised as education, the conformity disguised as connection. And that is terrifying, but it is also liberating. Because critical thinking is not just a skill, it is an act of freedom. It is choosing truth over comfort, growth over certainty, reality over illusion. And once you awaken, you can never go back. So ask yourself this: will you live as a product of the system, or will you reclaim your mind and become the architect of your own thought? The world doesn't need louder voices. It needs deeper minds. And the most revolutionary act you can commit today is to think.